A war begins thousands of miles away, and suddenly your groceries cost more. Petrol prices rise, food gets expensive. Even countries not involved in the war start struggling financially. But how does a missile fired in one region quietly empty your wallet? Most people hear words like inflation on the news every day, but almost nobody explains the hidden economic machine operating behind it. So in this video, we're uncovering the full chain reaction from war zones and oil supplies to shipping routes and rising prices in a way that's simple, cinematic, and impossible to ignore. Because behind every expensive economy, there's always something bigger happening. Let's start with something simple. Imagine a war suddenly starts near one of the world's biggest oil suppliers. At first, most people outside that region don't care much because they think, this war has nothing to do with me. But global economies are connected like dominoes, and oil sits right in the middle of all of them. The moment war threatens oil supplies, the entire world reacts. Oil companies panic, investors panic, governments panic, and prices begin rising before shortages even happen. Yeah, sometimes the fear of losing oil becomes more expensive than actually losing it, which is honestly kind of crazy when you think about it. A rumor, an explosion, or even one political speech can move billions of dollars in hours. Now here's where things get serious. Oil isn't just fuel for cars. Oil moves trucks, ships, factories, planes, food supply chains. It's basically the bloodstream of the modern economy. So when oil becomes expensive, transport becomes expensive. When transport becomes expensive, businesses raise prices. And when businesses raise prices, you feel inflation. Suddenly, groceries cost more, online deliveries cost more, flights cost more, electricity rises. Even the price of bread quietly changes, not because the bread itself changed, but because the entire system behind it became more expensive. And wars don't only affect oil, they also damage trade routes. Cargo ships avoid dangerous regions, shipping slows down, insurance costs explode. The more unstable the system becomes, the more prices rise. Now here's the part most people never realize. Inflation doesn't hit everyone equally. For wealthy people with businesses, assets, or investments, rising prices can sometimes become opportunities. But for normal families, inflation quietly destroys purchasing power, which is why people often say, I'm earning more money than before, so why does life still feel harder? That feeling isn't imaginary. Your money is slowly buying less, and sometimes the economy changes faster than salaries do. Think about it like this. Imagine running on a treadmill, but every few seconds someone secretly increases the speed. That's inflation. You keep moving, but life still feels harder. And this is why global wars matter even to countries not directly involved, because modern economies are deeply connected. One conflict affects oil. Oil affects transport. Transport affects businesses. Businesses affect prices, and prices affect everyone. That's the hidden economic chain reaction operating behind the scenes. Not just missiles and headlines, but systems. Invisible systems most people never notice until life suddenly becomes expensive. And the scary part? Wars are only one reason economies become harder to survive in. Because sometimes, the problem isn't just conflict. Sometimes it's the money system itself. Which brings us to another hidden economic mystery. Why does life often feel harder, even when salaries increase? And strangely enough, one simple burger can expose the answer. So if you want to understand the deeper hidden system behind inflation, currencies, and why money feels weaker in different countries, watch my previous Big Mac Index video. Because once you understand that, you start seeing the economy very differently.